nigga chin.
The UFC may be back because these recent fight announcements, wow. So, Imavov versus Borralho has been announced for UFC Paris in September. And at the time of this recording, today, Lopes versus Silva has also been announced. We'll break down Imavov versus Borralho first, since that was announced first. So, Nasruddin Imavov will face Kyle Borralho in the main event of UFC Paris, 5 rounds. I think this is a fantastic fight. And I'm very glad that, here's the thing. This first half of the UFC has been, you can't sugarcoat it, it's been bad. It's been really, really, really awful. But it looks like the second half, especially September, because both of these fight nights will be in September. September looks freaking stacked, right? So they don't have a pay-per-view that month. So we're getting a Imavov versus Borralho. I love this fight. I think this is a great fight. This is a fight that I really, really wanted, but I know some fans are like, oh, Borralho, he doesn't deserve it. I never really believed that narrative. I never really followed that narrative. I believe that the best fight should happen, and I believe this was the best fight to make because neither guy is booked up. Both guys are coming off of great wins. I think people kind of underrate Borralho a little bit. I don't think he's winning, just to say this flat out, like spoiler alert, but I think Imavov is going to win. But we'll get to my prediction in a little bit. But I think Borralho is deserving of this fight because really it's either that or Imavov just sits out for a while and waits. And look, August, DDP versus Hamzat, right? This will be the next month after that. So the scheduling is pretty perfect in my opinion. The winner of this instantly should get a title shot. Not instantly, but should guaranteed get a title shot probably sometime in February or January. So I think this is perfect. Imavov versus Borralho. Again, it's a 5-rounder. I think Imavov's got this one. I think he's got this one. But Borralho's good. He's good. He's a good striker. He has pretty decent ground game. He has good offensive wrestling himself. His defensive wrestling has not been really tested. And I think Imavov, the thing is, I think Imavov will just be able to push a better pace than Borralho. I also think Imavov has really, really good precision, really good striking, really good KO power, but he is also very good on the ground. That's the thing. And I do just think it could be close. It could be one of those where it's maybe a 3-2 Imavov or maybe a 4-1. I don't know, but I think it will be competitive. But I do think Imavov will be better at pushing the pace. He had a 5-round fight with Strickland. He did really well in. I know Borralho fought Cannonier for 5 rounds, and to be fair, he almost finished Cannonier in the last round. So I think this is a really good fight. Honestly, I think it's a good fight. It will be competitive, but I do have Nasruddin Imavov winning this one. There's also beef. There's also beef between these guys. Both of these guys do not like each other, right? Imavov put out this weird... It was this weird trailer thing. I'm not even sure what it was. It was this weird. I don't know. He was just making fun of Borralho, and that's a lot of people don't like Borralho, to be honest, which I've noticed. I saw some guy in my comments was like, I just hate Borralho's tattoos. He does have some pretty awful tattoos, but yeah. So I think this is a sick fight. I think this is a fight night main event. Not Derek Lewis versus Towson Teixeira, not Barber versus Blanchfield, not even, Morales Burns. This is a real fight night main event. And what I like about it is it's not an old guy versus a young guy like an Usman Buckley, right? Usman Buckley is great. Don't get me wrong. But it's just these are two young, hungry guys. It's not a Hill versus a Roundtree either, where it's we've seen both of these guys get title shots. These are two fresh title contenders. So I love this fight. I think this is excellent. And it's really the same with this next fight. Lopes has fought for a belt, but UFC Noche, we got the main event. It's going to be in Texas. Lopes versus Silva. I think this is a phenomenal fight. Now, I'll discuss kind of the implications of it in a minute, but just the fight itself, it's 5 rounds, obviously. I think this is a great fight. I think this is a phenomenal fight. It doesn't mean we're getting Lopes versus Yair. Now, here's the problem with that, right? Does that mean Yair Rodriguez is getting a title shot? Because I've seen a lot of people kind of worrying about that. I don't think it guarantees Yair is getting a title shot at all. I've seen a lot of people say that, but at the end of the day, we know Volk's not fighting in September. If the UFC say, hey, Volk, can you fight in November, December? He'll push back his return for not his return, but he'll push back his title defense for a month or two. Because I know he wanted to come back very, very soon, but he is having a kid in September, I believe he said, so that's not going to happen. Plus, there's only fight nights that month anyways, so it wasn't going to happen either way. So I don't know. I think if Movsar wins against Aaron Pico, I think he could still get the title shot if he's going to fight again this year. So I don't know. I wouldn't worry too much about, oh, this confirms that Yair versus Volk is happening next. I don't really think so. I've seen people say that, but maybe I'm just being like, is the word pessimistic, I think is the word. Maybe I'm just being like hopeful. I think I am, to be honest. I think it's a little bit of hopium, or coping by me. But I don't know. I don't think it fully confirms it. Plus, Yair, he said that he might be injured as well. So there's like a lot of factors with that. But nonetheless, the fight itself is phenomenal, right? Diego Lopes, Gene Silva, 5-rounder. This is going to be this has potential to be one of the best fights in the history of the UFC. Like, maybe that's like super high praise. I can't see a world where this is boring. Like, I guess maybe if Silva just flatline kills Lopes, then I guess that's boring, because then it would just be like, oh, well, all that just for it to end like that if he just flatlined him in the first. But I can't see that, because Diego Lopes has a granite chin, and Gene Silva's chin is not really tested, though. That's the interesting thing. And that's what's interesting about this fight, because Diego Lopez's chin is way more tested, and we've seen Diego Lopes compete at a higher level than Gene Silva, right? So this is a really big jump up. Like, this is, okay, if Gene Silva wins this, he's getting a title shot after Movsar Evloev, presumably, right? Can you imagine if Gene Silva wins this and then just gets a title shot before Movsar anyways? Like, that'd be so funny. But, dude, if Gene Silva wins this, he's getting the next title shot, which is like really, really exciting, but also really terrifying, because I am a Volkanovski fan. I'm a Gene Silva fan too, but I am a bigger Volkanovski fan. But this fight's phenomenal. I mean, who do I have in it? If I had to try to predict it, I honestly don't know. I was thinking about it before I started recording. I'm like, who do I pick? Who do I pick? Because you could say, I mean, Gene Silva's been on a great run. He's shown in his last fight he has jiu-jitsu, but he's not doing that to Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes has higher level jiu-jitsu than Bryce Mitchell. And his wrestling, I'm not really sure. Diego Lopes is not really he doesn't really use his wrestling a lot. Both guys are pretty good in the pocket, but Gene Silva, he's pretty good at keeping range. I think Gene Silva's going to win this one, sadly. I'm a bigger fan of Diego, but I don't know, though. I mean, what if Gene Silva slows down? That's the thing. Like, what if the thing is with Gene Silva is we see him finish all these guys in the second round, third round. He's never been in a 5-rounder in the UFC, that is. Right? He's never had a 5-round fight. Diego Lopes has had a 5-round fight before. I mean, in his last fight against Volkanovski, like one of the best 5-round, one of the best fighters, period, but one of the best cardio machines we've ever seen. And he lasted all 5 rounds pretty well. Like, he hung in there. But the thing is, I think Gene Silva might just be able to stay out of the way, use his footwork. I think Diego, unless he makes some major footwork improvements and improves his head movement a bit, that was the biggest issue in the fight against Volk, was he just wasn't moving out of the way of these shots. I think Gene could win this one, I do. But if Diego starts to use his wrestling, that's where it will get interesting. And if he starts to use his grappling and try to clinch Gene Silva a little bit, if he catches Gene Silva, like he caught Volk with a big shot. He's caught everyone he's ever fought, right? Like, I don't know, did he rock Movsar? I feel like he rocked Movsar, but almost KO'd Volk in the second, almost got Ortega out of there. I'm pretty sure he landed some decent shots on Dan Ige. So that's why this fight is interesting, because, again, Gene Silva, his chin is unproven. Like, we don't know the extent of how good Gene Silva's chin is, right? Whereas Diego Lopes, we have a better idea of how good his chin is. He took some nasty shots from Volk. He took some really nasty shots from Volk, to be honest. Whereas Gene Silva, it's like, Gene Silva's never been hit with a clean right hand, a clean elbow. So what's going to happen if Diego does hit him with a clean right hand? This is what I'm saying. So my early prediction, months out, is Gene Silva via decision. I can't see him finishing Diego. I think it will be a very hard-fought fight. I think it will be a razor close decision, maybe. I think it will be very, very close. I think Gene Silva is going to win a very close decision. But I'm not even fully confident. I keep smacking my fist in my head. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not fully confident in that pick, man. But overall, two phenomenal fights have been announced. There have been some other small things like Cedric Dumas is out of 317. He got arrested again or some shit, probably. Who cares about that? And I don't know, some other small fights. I'm trying to think. Nathan Fletcher got a fight. Who cares, right? So these are the big fights that have been announced. And UFC, keep it up, please. Keep it up because it's starting to feel like we're back, man. Like, bro, Gene Silva, Diego Lopez. You could throw Brandon Moreno against anybody as the co-main event. It's crazy because I was thinking about this card like this morning. I was like, I wonder if they'll put like Brandon Moreno as the main event against like maybe a Manel Cap or maybe I don't know, a so-and-so. But no, this is the fight they're going to do. And I love it. This is a phenomenal fight. And again, it's a shame we're not getting him versus Yair, but stylistically, this is better. The thing is, the Yair fight just has that beef, right? But like stylistically, this is about 3 times better than the Yair fight. Like the Yair fight would be fun, but to me, stylistically, this is so much more fun, and it has more questions. I feel like Diego, that's a pretty easy pick. Like he would pretty easily beat Yair. Not easily, but I'd be very confident he'd sub Yair or just ground and pound TKO. Whereas this, I'm leaning Gene Silva, but it's like I'm not fully confident in it. So I love these announcements. And then again, Imavov, Borralho, 2 guys who have beef. Coincidentally, I mean, 2 fighting nerds guys too, by the way, which is kind of funny. I didn't really realize that. I mean, I kind of did, but yeah, Borralho, Imavov, sick fight, actual beef. And you could kind of look at both of these fights as like number 1 contenders fights. Mainly mainly this fight, right? The Imavov Borralho fight, because the winner of this is for sure getting a title shot, unless Reinier de Ridder gets a great. If Reinier de Ridder just spinning headbutts Robert Whittaker, he might get a title shot. Like maybe. I don't think he would deserve it. He would need at least one more than a title shot. I think the winner of this is undisputedly the number 1 contender. And then this fight, I mean, if Gene Silva wins, they're going to give him the title shot, right? They might give it to Movsar first. But yeah, that's about it. And yeah, I love this. I think the UFC, we may be back. What are your guys' thoughts on these fights? I think these are phenomenal. Give me your predictions down below. Like the video, sub, turn on the bell. I always see YouTubers say that, but I never say it myself. And become a member in the description. And yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, shout out to the UFC. We may be back. There is hope for the UFC after all. Look, John Jones retires and all of a sudden the UFC is good again. Coincidence? I think not. Peace.